You cannot pull a Dale Earnhardt card number 99 out of the Charlotte or out of the Myrtle Beach. You cannot do it. They do not exist in these packs. They don't. The photograph that was used for his 1988 MAXX card number 99 was used for card number 3 in the 1989 set, which is considered his, all the collectors and sellers and everything from back in the day. That was his rookie card. Hello everybody. I have the holy trinity of NASCAR card boxes sitting in front of me right now, and I wanted to make a video record of each of these boxes. I'm not 100% sure if these will end up getting sold in the next coming weeks or days or months, and I just wanted to get a record of them while I could. I opened up a box of 1989 MAXX a year or two ago, and that was incredible. I found such a good deal on the box that it was a sign to get that box to open it, and it was wonderful. I'm so happy to have that memory preserved, and I talk about a lot of my history of understanding NASCAR cards and getting involved, and my friend Bernie and how he helped educate me on cards and continued to kind of guide me through the NASCAR card world. And then I went on to search for my first pack of 89 MAXX was from Bernie, and I pulled a number 43 Richard Petty card where he was smoking a cigar, and that was wonderful. And then I wanted to accumulate more of the 89 MAXX cards faster, and going to see him once every couple of weeks or once every month at the trade show just wasn't enough. And plus there were some things that I had that he didn't necessarily want to trade for, so I had to try to broaden my horizons. So I went to the back of the Beckett guides, and anyway, I go through that story in that 89 MAXX video, so if you want to watch that, please go ahead and do that. And anyway, in trying to broaden my horizons, I found in the back of the Beckett guide, I found old Pike race cards, and I started trading with him, and I go into that trade in that 89 MAXX video as well, so I won't go into that completely. And I started trading him for packs of 88 MAXX Charlotte and then 88 MAXX Myrtle Beach, and I had some incredible wins. There was a time where he sent me 5 packs of Myrtle Beach, and they were $25 a pack back in 1996. And I pulled, it was 2 Talladega Streaks and 2 Phil Parsons without Marcia, or 3 and 1, and it was wild. So I was able to trade some of those back to him, and and just the snowball kept flowing. So it was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience as a child. Very fond memories I have of those times, and they were kind of a secluded experience. I was at home in my room making these phone calls. I would tell my parents about them, and I would try to tell my friends, but friends didn't really get it. My dad was the only one who kind of really understood it. Bernie understood it. And it was just, when you're a child, you want to share with your friends some of the exciting things. And it was just a noticeable difference in what my friend group was interested in versus what I was interested in. And anyway, so fast forward, I lost the storage unit and all this stuff, and life happened, and I wanted to recapture some of these memories. So that was the point in buying 2 of each of the boxes. And I bought the 89 MAXXs on eBay. I bought the 88. Actually, I bought all of these off eBay technically. The 89 or the 88 Charlotte on eBay, and then the Myrtle Beach. I found old Pike. I found him. It was so wild. He had a box of 1988 MAXX Myrtle Beach. This was during COVID. It could have been 2020 or 2021. And I found him, and I was like, holy crap, are you old Pike? Did you used to own old Pike race cards? And he said, yes. I said, you're not going to believe this. I've been kind of trying to find you and see if you had any of those boxes. And he said, yes, he did. And obviously I found him. Oh, he had one of the boxes on listed at the time. And I worked out a deal. I bought it from him, and he had one more from his sealed case that he purchased of 1988 MAXX Myrtle Beach cards in the 90s. And that was from the case, from the boxes that I was trading packs for. So it was very important and special to me that I was able to find what I found. that I found cards from him, because that was connecting the two stories. And that's so important to me in my life, is being able to breadcrumb stories together and connect things, because otherwise it becomes disoriented, it kind of in my spirit. And it's hard to explain, and I can share more about that later in another video. And this was just really important for me to actually know. I'll share about it now. This is, if there's ever a time to share about it, it's with stuff like this, because these were so important to me. So it was, I just have a hard time. I have a really, really hard time when things, are disrupted, I suppose. And all the effort that I had putting in trading, and the hours that I put in calling and trading and thinking and finessing and taking care of those sets that I made from these boxes or these packs from the Charlotte and the Myrtle Beach. I opened a whole box. So, but I had sets made that I opened, that I worked for, that I hustled for at like 12, 13 years old. And for those sets to be gone in the way that they were missing, which was through a lack of support from my family, unfortunately, and to have those gone, there was a lot of resentment for people that I thought were close to me, that cared about me, not helping me protect the things that were important to me, and them ultimately not knowing me and what was important to me and the things that brought me joy, and how sentimental I was. And the part about that is that I actually, unfortunately, believe that that was exactly the intent behind it, because they did know what was so important to me, that they wanted to hurt me by ensuring that things that I cared about were taken away or destroyed. And that's an unfortunate outlook to have on members of your family, and those are just the facts. And making this video is important to me to have a record, because I don't have records of it from the 90s. If I would have had, like I've been doing the VHS videos recently, if I would have had access to a VHS camcorder on a regular basis, I would have tried to do this and make records of me opening the cards or my collection, and that would have been wonderful to look back on. So anyway, I'm able to do that now. And while I still have one of each of these boxes stashed away that I hopefully will be able to just hold on to, I wanted to make a record of them all just three next to each other. And this is how they came. They weren't factory sealed with any shrink wrap or cellophane. The idea was to send these off to Baseball Card Exchange, and I just ran out of time and resources. And maybe I'll do that with the other ones I have, but that's, I am where I am. And these are just wonderful relics and items to have. 48 packs in 1989 MAXX, and I remember I watched the 89 video over, and I say 44 packs were in this box, because there's 44 packs in the 88 boxes, so I got confused. And there are 48 packs in the 48 packs in the 89 box. And this is what the packs look like. Shrink wrapped, cellophane. Sometimes, unfortunately, the corners can get rounded because of the way that the cards were sealed in there. Instead of there being some give with a wax wrapper or a foil wrapper, these are just tightly in there. And the way that I was opening them was I was taking the X-Acto knife and slicing across the seam. And then there's like a little flip here where I guess you can flip your nail under there. And I just thought that was an opportunity to have the cleanest extraction of the cards. So 48 packs in there. there are 44 packs in here. This is the wrapped even tighter. The cellophane's wrapped even tighter in this one. It's, I mean, you can see up at the top there's so much more material, so much more plastic on the 89s. This is what you're looking for though, right here. You want to make sure if you're looking for a Charlotte box, it says Charlotte, North Carolina, and the majority of this is blank, and I'll show you the Myrtle Beach in just a second here. And the thing about the 88 MAXX Charlotte was that it was the second printing. Now, what I heard from Mike at Old Pike back in the day, from what I remember, is he said there was a fire or something happened to the factory at the Sherrier Press in 1988. And then I've heard more recently that that was not the case. So, and I believe that I've seen documentation showing that that wasn't the case and it was just a second print. So those are just the stories that I heard. And I believe Mike, and I also believe the documents that I saw. So I'm just sharing the information that I've heard. And it's interesting because they changed the cards that were inside the set. And I even opened up a few packs of 1988 MAXX recently. There's another video. I think there's like between 15 and 20 packs that I opened up. And I found a third version of the 1988 MAXX. They had some of the Myrtle Beach cards in there and some of the Charlotte cards in there. And you can watch that video as well on my channel. So there's technically a third version of these boxes. And I have no clue how you could possibly tell other than by starting to open up a box and seeing that some of the cards were in there and some of the some Myrtle Beach cards were inside these packs. So I have no idea if this is one of the hybrid sets or if this is just a straight Myrtle Beach or straight Charlotte set where there's no Myrtle Beach cards in there. Like I think the Daytona Speedway, single file, 1988 Begins. I think those are some of the cards that were in there. There could have been a few more. And the cover cards were definitely not in there. Or the Myrtle Beach cover cards were definitely not in here because all the packs had Charlotte. So, or the checklists, I mean. Cover cards were also corrected. And so that was really interesting. That was really interesting to experience, and I just love the fact that I was able to capture that moment on video. That was very important to me, especially given the fact that, I don't have my cards from before, and being able to kind of have this special thing that I found and have it recorded and shared and documented was really important to me, and that made me feel a real strong sense of confidence. And I'm really looking for that right now, and I'm trying to find that right now. And yeah, so this is 1988, and you can get the number 87 Dale Earnhardt champion card out of here, which is a short print. They got the number 43 Richard Petty rookie card, which is in here. All kinds of wonderful, wonderful cards. And then, we'll keep this out for comparison with the Myrtle Beach. And then you can actually see in these two examples of the boxes here, the saturation on the inks is different from Charlotte to Myrtle Beach. Darker saturation, a little bit lighter saturation. I don't know if that was consistent across the entire production run, and it's noticeable here. And that's noticeable on the other boxes as well. This is not just a sun-faded example. So the red is richer, the yellow is darker. Yeah. So, okay, and I will actually, what do I want to do? Let me take you for a walk around the boxes, just the condition of the boxes for right now. Let's do it. break right there. Somebody repaired it before. That was not my doing. Let's... Myrtle Beach. This thing is so mint. It's so awesome. I mean, there are just slight bends there. Such an incredible box of trading cards. You cannot pull a Dale Earnhardt card number 99 out of the Charlotte or out of the Myrtle Beach. You cannot do it. They do not exist in these packs. They don't. The photograph that was used for his 1988 MAXX card number 99 was used for card number 3 in the 1989 set, which is considered his, all the collectors and sellers and everything from back in the day. That was his rookie card. You cannot pull a Dale Earnhardt card number 99 out of any product other than a redemption from 1994 MAXX Medallion, a redemption from 1996 MAXX Made in America, and then I believe it was 1998 MAXX. The 1998 MAXX, I am not 100% sure. Well, the 1998 MAXX and the 1996 MAXX Made in America had the card autographed by Dale Earnhardt. And there was not a gold seal on it. On the 94 MAXX Medallion, there was a gold seal on it. Numbered out at 999. And then, as you may have heard from other collectors, there is an additional card out there. So there's 1,000 of those cards that exist. Possibly more if they did prototyping for the seal. Not 100% sure. So, let me see. What was I getting to? Yeah, you can't pull an Earnhardt card out of these boxes. It would be awesome. It would be awesome. I think, oh yeah, the 1998, I don't know if the 1998 MAXX, which Upper Deck owned them at the time, I don't know if that was a redemption or if those cards were live in the packs. So somebody can comment on the video if you know the information for that and, you know, let us know. So this is the Myrtle Beach box. It is from the same case of boxes that I would trade for with Old Pike that I got my first set of Myrtle Beach. And then he had one box of Charlotte, and that one I have in my case. So I'm keeping that as well because I opened up packs of Charlotte and Myrtle Beach from him, and that's how I made my 2 sets. And having those from him are just, those are just wonderful. I can't believe I was able to do that, and that he was able to, that he still had them. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So I will be listing these 3 on eBay, depending on when you see this video. And if something comes up, I'm currently looking for a job. So if anybody out there watching this video works in pop culture space, collectibles, works for NASCAR, works for one of the big trading card companies like Topps, Panini, or Hasbro, Mattel, Funko, works for NASCAR, maybe Hot Topic or some licensing company that works with pop culture, all these different kinds of ways that apparel gets out into the market. That's what I'm looking for. I have a background in sales and marketing and social media management, as well as photography. So if anybody knows somebody that works for one of those companies, or if you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, I'm looking. So if you could let me know, put me in touch with them, I would greatly appreciate it. I think I have a lot to offer, and I'd be happy to share some more of my background with them when talking. So anyway, let's pull out the pack of Myrtle Beach. And then I'm not going to bend this at the... I'm not going to add to the creases. The box. This one looks like it has more room on it. The cellophane's not as tight as on the Charlotte. So that's what you want to see. Printed in Myrtle Beach. For comparison, the Charlotte, Myrtle Beach, Charlotte, Myrtle Beach. So there we go. The holy trinity of NASCAR trading card boxes, from my perspective, sitting right here in front of us. And I'll be offering them for sale individually and as a group on my eBay account. I'll put a link in the description of this video if you'd like to take a look at them. Shoot me an offer. If you're somebody that I know, send me a message on Instagram or Twitter and let me know if you're interested in these, so we can both save some money on fees. Yeah. I appreciate you watching the video. I appreciate the opportunity to share this story and to make this video record of these incredible boxes. And hopefully something comes through with work where I don't have to let these go. And I have some other things that I'm going to be listing soon as well. And if you've been watching my eBay, you know that I've been letting go of some cards that have been really important to me. And that's how I've experienced NASCAR cards and collectibles for my entire life. And I'm thankful that NASCAR cards have come in to save the day again. This is the this is the third time in my life where I've cycled to NASCAR cards and collectibles, and where I've been able to rely on them to pay my rent, pay for food, pay for utilities, pay for the necessities of life. So, and after selling the million NASCAR cards that I had in college to help put myself through college, that launched a few, different directions in my life, or set me in a few different directions in my life. It's just wonderful to know that this will always be a part of my life and a part of my story, and to be able to capture it, record it, and have it not just vanish like the sets did is important to me, because legacy matters. And I'm delighted that I'm able to do this. So that's it. I am done sharing for now, and I appreciate you watching the video. And if you like what you see, if you like the video, you know what to do. Thank you very much.